And now, the Sunday Show presents The Search for Cleaner Air. The Search for Cleaner Air asks the question, will the world turn tomorrow? It's a documentary of a documentary, as told in words and music. Our search for cleaner air began Monday.
Blue Monday, how are you, Blue Monday? Got to work like a slave all day.
The Cuddly Giant's world-famous traffic tracker, Dick Gilbert, had taken a week off for well-deserved vacation. Dick leads a very hectic life, with a lot of ups and downs.
Every morning before daylight, I board that bird and climb for heights. Gotta make it up, gotta make it out. Gotta find the gems and give a shout.
When the ever-lovely Dick Gilbert goes on vacation, the Skywatch reports, of course, must continue. Somehow, I had been chosen to fill his flight suit.
A white sport coat and a pink carnation.
Not being particularly impressed with the dress, but realizing the importance of doing my boss's bidding, I happily accepted the assignment.
Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known?
Yes, I had become known as the deputy traffic tracker of Skywatch 84. And thus, that fateful Monday, it was I who was high in the sky. When I noticed, much to my amazement, I had a little congestion of my own. It was then I realized summer had come to the city.
Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head.
Indeed, summer had come to Kentuckiana. As I looked down from my nifty perch high, I observed an earth mother brown haze of pollution hanging over the city. Poetically, I gazed at the haze.
Those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer.
Things were getting serious, all right. I could hardly breathe at 700 feet. My eyes burned with polluted tears.
Oh, you wish me well, you couldn't tell that I've been crying over you.
Yes, Cuddly Giant teardrops were falling from Skywatch 84. But you, the general public, being mostly at random, were unaware of my personal traumatic sacrifice. A mark of the true professional.
You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you.
As we circled low over the tremendous traffic backup on the Kentucky Turnpike at Standiford Lane, remember that one? I was thinking, here I am, up here breathing all this gunk. What some people won't do for money. I sang softly to myself.
I don't give a damn about a greenback dollar. Spend it fast as I can for a wailing song and a good guitar. The only things that I understand. Oh boy.
By Wednesday afternoon, things were getting tight. Polluted. Things were getting yucky in the air. The air pollution index had hit 95. An air pollution alert had been issued for Louisville and Jefferson County. Twilight time, it appeared, at high noon.
Heavenly twilight time. Out of the mist your voice is calling. 'Tis twilight time.
If my eyes had been burning from pollution earlier in the week, today they were on fire. Looking down on a very hazy Kentuckiana, a feeling of helplessness filled the air.
Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I'm too misty and too much in love.
Yes, in love with Kentuckiana, a place I've come to call home, where I hang my hat and pay my parking tickets. Where, oh where, had we gone wrong?
Won't you play another somebody done somebody wrong song and make me feel at home while I miss my baby?
The next morning, Thursday, we lifted off again in the Bird. I wrapped my Sky King flying scarf tightly about my nose and throat. Today, it looked twice as bad as it was yesterday, but the pollution index was greatly reduced. How could that be? How could it look twice as bad with only half the pollution? I became suspicious.
Suspicion,
Torments my heart,
suspicion,
keeps us apart.
suspicion.
Why torture me?
Half the pollution reading and apparently twice the visible pollution in the air? Something wasn't Hoyle with Doyle. I mean, I've been around. I've seen shams before. Somebody's meter had run out of time, or at least wasn't in step, and I was going to check it out. Needless to say, in addition to becoming suspicious, I had become worried.
It takes a worried, worried man to sing a worried, worried song. It takes a worried, worried man to sing a worried, worried song.
Now I went right into action. There were burning questions that needed answers, and there was no stopping until I had secured that much-needed information. I went right to the top, the information apex.
Information?
Yes, information. Do you have a listing for air pollution organization in Louisville?
Just a moment. As listed in your directory, the Louisville and Jefferson County Air Pollution Control Board, 635-7471.
Thank you, information.
Leaving no stone unturned, I immediately acted on this newly acquired piece of information and reached John Tate, press spokesman for the Louisville and Jefferson County Air Pollution Control Board. All right, John, what about it?
Well, first of all, welcome to the skies of urban America. I think the people looking out across this nation ought to keep a few factors in mind. For example, crowding 750,000 to 1 million people into one small corner of the world, such as we've done here in Jefferson County, is not exactly the best thing to do in order to keep the environment clean. We've got that many people going to their jobs, industries operating, shuffling around on this mortal coil, and they are going to stir up pollution. And what you and I see from the air over a city like Louisville is exactly that, the urban atmosphere. Now, the difference between what you see, what you perceive to be pollution, and what readings you have to compare what you see with coming out of the Air Pollution Control District, it's very difficult to compare the two. Visibility is not necessarily a function of pollution in the atmosphere. For example, the pollutant that we've had repeated alerts on in this particular area, ozone, is a colorless gas. And it doesn't make any difference how much of that ozone you have in the atmosphere. You're not going to be able to see it. You are going to be able to see portions of the urban atmosphere colored, say, brown by nitrogen oxides, and portions colored yellow by sulfur oxides. As a matter of fact, one of the ironies is that some of these spectacular modern sunsets are thought to be a product, at least partially, of nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere, giving us this orange cast to the horizon and this strange reflection off the clouds that we enjoy so much sometimes on these summer evenings. So the pollutants may or may not be visible. There are other things operating in the atmosphere that reduce your visibility, humidity being a very large factor.
What you see is not necessarily what you get. Well, maybe. But whatever I saw that Thursday, there was quite a bit of it. Could it have slipped in undetected? How about the monitor system? Yeah. How about those meters, John?
The Air Pollution Control District monitors the air at 28 locations in Jefferson County. We have about a little less than 400 square miles of jurisdiction. And we have selected within that jurisdiction some very carefully chosen locations for monitoring for these pollutants. Some of the sources, some of the sites are selected because they're source-oriented, they're close to a source of emissions. Some are selected because they're population-oriented, where the people are living. Each monitoring location may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instruments monitoring there for as many pollutants. The system has actually expanded considerably over the last, say, 6 to 8 years. And the expansion has come because of an increase in funding for precisely this purpose. I think it's safe to say that the monitoring program in Jefferson County is equivalent or better to any ambient air monitoring program in the southeast United States.
As good or better? Oh, yeah. Well, of course, John, I was kidding about the meters there, but what about the pollution index? How does that come about?
The air pollution index used in Jefferson County is unique to Jefferson County. Indexes used across the nation vary from city to city, from state to state. The one in Jefferson County was developed by CANARY.